morning,
Oh, working
Henry.
home Wednesday.
Big
Good
Henry.
Good
morning.
morning.
James, you were close enough on the wing story. The basic idea with the wing story is just pluck the feather or skip the wing. When you're at all you can eat wing places like I had in Buffalo, the owner would look at you like you were crazy if you complained about feathers on the wings. So you do realize this is all you can eat. Well, yeah, but I'm mad about this feather. Well, take it off. Or either eat the wing or skip the wing. It's not that simple. We cry, we complain about things that don't need complaining. This one lead was bad. Okay, well, pluck the feather, skip the wing. But usually, if we do like Molly did, and we actually take the time to pluck the feather, you're going to have some good results because as James is trying to remind you, many of us have PTSD from other places that we used to work. And so we're patient here for as long as we can be at SLS while you step into the new reality that the wings, now you guys have to wings, the leads that we have are actually quality. See, we some of us come from places where there were bait and switch leads, and the leads weren't TCP compliant. So we're all paranoid. So as soon as we hear any small thing, oh, here we go again. I know it. All these leads are bad. The leads are not bad. We spend millions and millions and millions, and I'm not exaggerating, millions, plural, 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 of dollars on making sure that you have a quality lead. But I do need to remind you, we are in sales, not customer service. And even in customer service, they get crazy calls too, believe it or not. You know, everything is not easy in customer service or sales process. We are in sales, not customer service. Many of you are doing a really good job with your leads and with your business. And for that, you deserve to be commended. You're making money, you're having fun, that's great. Some of you are struggling, and you're struggling unnecessarily. But you're struggling in sales because you're struggling in life. Let me repeat that. Many of you are doing very well, and that's awesome. But you're struggling in sales because you're struggling in life. You're projecting the struggles of your personal life onto your business, and it's going to make both of them fail. Now, what do you mean by that, Mr. Stewart? Well, some of us just aren't happy. Ask yourself a question, right? Just take a minute. We'll take a step back. Are you happy with your life? So you don't have to answer out loud. Just go through a mental checklist. So, are you happy with your health? Health and weight. These are questions to ask yourself. Are you happy with your current health and weight? Are you happy with it? Are you happy with your personal relationships? Are you happy with your romantic relationship? Are you happy with your kids? Happy with your parents? Are you happy with your personal relationships? Are you happy with your spiritual life, whatever that is? Wherever you go, wherever you worship, are you happy? Are you satisfied? Do you feel like you are receiving what you should receive? Do you feel like you're giving what you should give? Are you happy with your financial life? Are you happy with your checking account? Happy with your savings account? Happy with are you happy with your financial? Are you in a happy mental state, period? Your approach, your outlook on life, your future. Are you happy with what you feel your future holds? Are you a happy person? Many people are not happy. They're not happy. So it's unrealistic sometimes for a coach to think an unhappy person is all of a sudden going to become a happy business person. So many of you are dealing with a negative headspace. You're viewing your entire life through a negative lens. So of course, it's easy to view your clients through a negative lens. You've got the bad leads. Your clients are broke. I got all the Gerber clients. All my clients are sick. None of my clients want to do anything. But the fact of the matter is, what you need to shift is your mental approach. Now, I want you to shift your mental approach to your entire life. It'll really help you. But if you won't or you can't, I have to at least shift your lens with your business. Because if you don't approach your business differently, you're not going to make any money. And if you're not making any money, that means you're burning leads. And if you're burning leads, that means our relationship is not going to continue, right? So I encourage you to get happy in all phases of your life. But if you can't, we do at least have to fix this so that you don't lose your position. Well, how do I do that? You might say to yourself, how do I, and if I do that, is it really going to make a difference? Are you telling me, Henry, if I put on a happy face, somehow I'm going to make more money? Yes. One of the first things you need to do is get a mirror. I know this is old school. I know it seems silly. Henry can't be this. You need to get a mirror from any place in your house. If you don't have one, go buy one for 99 cents at the Dollar Tree. You need to have a mirror in front of your computer, and you need to smile while you dial, because you need to trick yourself into thinking you're happy even if you're not. Because I'll tell you one thing for sure. Sadness translates, and people don't like to be around sad people. People avoid sad people. You might find yourself doing that. Oh my God, that person is sad. Let me just I don't know what to say to them. Let me just get away. People are attracted to happy people. They like to be around them. They're engaged. I wonder why that person's so happy. Let me go find out. So you're either attracting people on the phone every day, or you are repelling people every day on the phones. And then you're wondering, man, why can't I get somebody to talk to? That's because the people that we do get on the phones, we are releasing negativity onto them, whether we realize it or not. It comes out in our tone, expressions, and pace. Our frustration and negativity comes out in our tone, expressions, and pace. Irene would like to share a thought, which normally I don't let people interrupt my speeches, but it's Irene. Irene, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Stewart. To go back on that, before I started with SLS, I've always been in the sales industry on the phone. I worked at Omni Financial, a tax resolution, and the tone reflection is really kind of where I learned that from. You have to have that smile on your face because people can really hear that in your tonality. But I remember I left a voicemail on this client's voicemail, and he called me back and he was like, you just sound so miserable. You're just like, this is Irene. Yeah, like you need to change that. Like your approach is not very welcoming. And like that stuck with me for years. Now I've been with SLS for 8 years. So over a decade, that little feedback from a voicemail stuck with me. So yes, smile and dial. You people can hear when you are in a bad mood, for sure. Firsthand experience.
Thank you
That's
for
all.
thank you for sharing that, Irene. That was a valuable contribution because it's true.
You're
Irene's like, I sounded so miserable on a voicemail one time. Somebody actually had to call me back just to tell me that. They're like, look, I don't know what you're calling about, but lady, you sounded terrible. And the thing of it is, many of us sound that way. And I know it because when I'm listening to your calls, I can hear every sad thing that's happened to you that day. Every dial that you have dialed that someone didn't pick up, every almost sale that happens, it's spilling over into the next call. And it's making me think that some of you are forgetting that we are in sales. See, this is what we do. People call up, where we call the people either way, whether it's a live transfer, they're not going to say hello. My name is Jane Pauley, and I'm looking for Henry Stewart. I've been looking for him really my whole life. It's been my quest to find him. I know he should be about 51 by now. He grew up in Buffalo, New York. I've got my checkbook in my hand, and I refused my insurance from anyone but he. And I'm hoping that he is here at SLS and I can speak with him. If so, I'm ready to buy. I've been waiting 4 decades. Insurance doesn't work that way. Sales doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. So for us to continue to be shocked that sometimes clients don't want to buy, sometimes they're negative, sometimes they're mean, it's like being firefighters that are shocked that sometimes there's cats in trees, sometimes there's false alarms, sometimes things are on fire, and sometimes they're not. Why would you be shocked by that? It's what you do. You're a firefighter, right? It's just part of the job, part of all in a day's work. So why are we so emotionally disturbed? Why do we let normal things make us so unhappy? It makes no sense. We are in sales. This is part of our day. Some people are just shopping. Some people just want a quote. Some people are mean. Some people are happy. Some people buy. Some people don't. Some people really need to talk to their kids. Some people really don't. But why does that impact us emotionally? Stop and think about that for a second. We're in sales. It's part of the day. If you are a doctor, people come in. If you're the emergency room doctor, you're going to see it all. Broken leg, twisted ankle, heart problems. Somebody's got shot. You save some people. You can't save some people. It's just part of the job. We are in sales. Everything you guys talk about, I see complaints on group me threads and this and that. I kind of don't. I do, but I don't understand it. It's the fact that we get so emotionally impacted by this stuff. It's costing you money. It's costing you a lot of money because what it does is that it's making us get focused on amassing talk time instead of being happy and maximizing engagements. Everybody talks to a lot of people every single day. The problem is, some of us have gotten so negative in the way we view our day and the way we view our clients, we don't even realize how many people we talk to. I'll say, how many people did you talk to yesterday? Oh, I don't know, 3 or 4. Then I go look at the records, and I'm not exaggerating. Some of you have had 20 and 20, up to 20 to 25 interactions with a human being, but you can only remember 3 or 4 of them. And that's because the only 3 or 4 that you remember is the time that you perceived something positive happened. All those other communications where somebody said, "Oh, I'm not interested," or gave you some excuse, "I already bought insurance." Your brain put those in the negative category. Oh, okay, you already got insurance. Fine. Well, if you ever need some more, let me know. Another bad lead. We put that in the negative bucket. Not interested. I knew it. But that you don't even count. I put you in the negative bucket. But that bucket, every time you talk to somebody, that's your money. Let me make sure you understand this. You're going to interact with 20 to 25 people. Our brains tell us, yeah, but those people, right, they weren't going to buy anything. So you just add them to your negative column. But the person that tells you that you're not interested or that they're not interested, many times that's where your sale was. It's like Molly talked about. Molly, the guy got mad and hung up. For many of us, you just would put that in your negative bucket and went about your business. Here's another one, another bad lead. It's not a bad lead, it was a good lead having a bad day. Somali knows this. Somali's like, okay, I'm not going to let this guy he doesn't even know who he was talking to. So let me call back and at least make sure he's hanging up on the right person. Hey, listen, time out. I'm not a telemarketer. So I know you're in a bad mood. Looks like you were mad with somebody, but it's not me. I'm actually somebody who you wanted to talk to. Let me explain what's going on. Because Molly's in sales. She's not in customer service. And then the guy was able to talk through his anger. Well, I'm just mad about whatever he was mad about. Well, I know, I get that. I get it. And matter of fact, if somebody called me when I was in the bad mood, I probably would have hung up as well. But let me explain what's going on. We're in sales, and at some point, these people wanted to talk to us. And even if they didn't, they do. Even if they didn't, they do. We have the benefit that everybody we talk to is a warm lead, but treat them like a cold call. Fortunately, everybody we talk to, whether it's an inbound lead or an outbound lead, fortunately, because of the millions of dollars that we spend, they're all warm leads. But treat them like they're cold calls, meaning take the time to build the rapport, identify the need, and then handle the call appropriately. I've been traveling the last couple of days, and I can tell you the last thing on my mind was getting another credit card. And I definitely did not say to myself, you know what, let me make sure I get to the airport an hour early so that hopefully there's someone there trying to get me a credit card. I definitely did not do that. Yet, when I got there, guess who was there? It was those people that are standing at the gates saying, do you want to get a credit card? Nobody's thinking about a credit card. Okay. And yet their line was full. I walked past it because I don't feel like getting a credit card. But I admired the fact that they still asked me. And I admired the fact that sure enough, they got a lot of people over there. And I saw a lot of people getting signed up. Those are cold calls. You can still make money in the world of cold calls. You could make money making cold calls selling insurance. You could sell one every day making cold calls. I know that because I used to do it. So when you've got warm calls and hot calls all day long, it's really kind of impossible not to sell at least one or two or three. If you're looking at the lead in a positive way, if you're not letting your life spill over into your business and ruin both. Some of us are miserable. And I personally, I want you to stop being miserable in your life. I don't want you arguing every day with your significant other or your kids or your parents. I don't want you sad and discouraged. I don't want you looking around your house like my life stinks. It's been bad. It's always going to be bad. Everybody has it better than me. I hope your life gets better. But even if I can't fix your personal life, I've got to fix your business life. And who knows? Maybe if your business life gets better, your personal life will get better. But you simply must stop this broke and broken approach to your business. Many of us sound like broke call center reps. That's what we sound like. And that's how we get treated. Hello, I'm calling about your insurance. Is this going to be your first policy? Blah, 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 crapola. Right? Blah, 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 crapola. When you're talking to your clients, you have to have some swag. You simply must. I don't care what your situation is. If your rent is due tomorrow, your mortgage is due tomorrow, your car note is behind, any bills are behind, you're not making the money you thought that you were going to make, none of that matters to your client. And you cannot bring that energy into your call. When someone says they are not interested, somebody tell me what you're supposed to say, and more importantly, say it how you're supposed to say it. Who can do it?
Well, I hear that.
Hey, Andre knows about
What are
that.
you not
I
interested
know
in?
that's right.
Let me hear it. Give it to me. Somebody raise your virtual hand.
I hear that. What were you interested in?
That's what I was going to say.
There you go. Let's see. Tomcat.
I know that's right. But let me ask you this. What were you interested back when you were interested?
There you, very, very simple. All right. You can even put a little chuckle on it. All right. I'm not interested. I know that's right. I know that's right. But let me ask you a question. At some point, you were interested. You were looking at something on TV, or we called you, and think back a little bit. What were you interested in back when you were interested? At some point you were. I know you're not interested now. At some point you were. Just think back for a second. What were you interested in back when you were interested? Help me out. Well, all I wanted was yada, yada, yada. You guys hear what I'm saying, and do you hear how I'm saying it? Nothing that client says is a big deal. Now, if it's unhappy, if you're unhappy, everything your client says sends you into a downward spiral that you can hear on the phone. I'm not interested. Okay. Well, my job is to bring you plans of things that will interest you. And well, I'm not interested. Okay. Well, in the future, give me a call. I know that's right. But let me ask you a question. At some point, you were interested. You were filling out something, or you had some interest in insurance. What were you interested in back when you were interested? Help me out. Well, I mean, I don't even think I ever was interested. Well, that's the best time to talk to me. Let me tell you why. A lot of people are not interested with what I have to say until they hear what I have to say. Then when they hear, they get real interested because I help people get checks. And then I read, what's this all about? Everybody got that? It's no big deal. Many of you are making this like way too big of a deal, and that's because you're thinking about the consequence of not getting the sale instead of thinking about the benefit of getting it. Like we start thinking about all the bad stuff that's going to happen if we don't get the sale. We bring all that pressure into the call, and then if it doesn't happen, we take all that frustration into our next call. It doesn't matter. The only thing a client can really say is that at the beginning, they could either say they're not interested, they can say that they bought something already, or they can say that they want to move forward. But they're all the same client. They can say they're not interested. They can say that they bought something already, or they can say they want to move forward, but they're all the same client. Why do I say that? Here's why. Let me tell you some sales truth so you can start to make some money. If somebody says, I'm not interested and does not hang up the phone, what does that mean in sales world?
It's a smokescreen.
Opportunity.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough
That means that they're
information.
interested if they didn't get off the phone.
Exactly. It just means yet. I'm not interested yet. Your turn is what the client is saying. When the client says, well, I bought something already and stays on the phone, what that means in sales world is Well, I bought something already, so I don't think I need you. I don't think I need you, but I'm going to stay here on the phone in case I'm missing something. So if you got something to say, let me know. That's why I haven't hung up yet. Or a person can actually say the words to you that I want to move forward. So when someone says they're not interested and your brain's telling you, here's another bad lead, it's funny because the people that are telling you that they're not interested, guess who's hanging the phone up? Who's ending the call? You are. So they say they're not interested. And then we're ending the call. We're not getting hung up on. We're hanging up on them, or we're telling them, okay, well, call me back when you are interested. In the history of not interested, that's not how not interesteds work. When somebody says, I'm not interested, and then they stay there, they're waiting. Like, I'm not interested. Are you a good salesperson or a bad salesperson? Can you keep me on the phone or not? And then you end the call. We're like, all right, if that's all you got, I guess I'll see you later. But if somebody says, I'm not interested, and you say, I know that's right. So I'm usually not interested in a lot of stuff either until I get interested. But that's me. I'm crazy. But let me ask you a question. So at some point, you're watching TV, insurance popped in your mind at some point. Can you remember what were you interested in back when you were interested? Help me out. Can you remember that? I don't even remember what I was thinking. I don't know. I don't remember. Let me tell you what I've been hearing a lot. See if this rings a bell. All right. What I've been hearing a lot is people have been thinking about their final day. They don't like thinking about it all the time, but they've been thinking about their final day. And they've been thinking about, oh my God, I want to live forever. But if I don't, there's going to be a funeral. And the people that love me the most and the ones that I love the most are going to be in the front row. And then there's going to be some people behind them, and some people behind him, and some people behind them. Now, I can't help everybody at the funeral, but I'm really concerned about that front row. People have been really concerned about that front row and making sure that, God forbid, when they pass, everybody in that front row is taken care of to the best of their ability. And I have some programs that are specially designed for the people in that front row. Let me explain how they work, but to do that, I got to ask you a couple of questions. You think that might make a person who wasn't interested at least pause? Our program's a little bit different. What we do is, we want our friends and family to live forever. All right. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And unfortunately, when we are sitting in the front row of the funeral, when we are sitting in the front row of the funeral, that means that the service that we're at, we were really important to that person, and that person was really important to us. But what we're finding is sometimes when we go to that service, it's put to everybody in a bad situation. So we have a program that gives checks. It gives checks to the people in the front row. We're in sales. We're not in customer service. Somebody says they don't want to buy insurance. Okay, I know that's right. Are you interested in getting a check though? Why do you ask that? Well, the reason I'm asking is because our programs work both ways. Our programs work that, God forbid, if you pass, it creates a check for your family. But we also have programs where if the people around you were to pass, you get a check. And actually, I'm going to talk to you about both. But I need to ask you a couple of questions so that we can move forward in the program. Some people don't want to buy insurance on themselves. They're right. They don't. They don't need insurance on themselves. If they don't need insurance on themselves, that means they've already got their affairs in order. If they've already got their affairs in order, that means they got a little bit of money. If they've already got a little bit of money, they're the person that everybody in their family asks for loans. The person who actually has it, look, I got $100,000 a whole life. My house is paid for, my car is paid for, I got stocks, I got whatever they're talking about. The person that actually has their house in order is the person that's loaned money to everybody in their family. So that's the person that needs to take out policies on other people. So they might very well be right. They don't need insurance on themselves. You're having the wrong conversation. You need to be talking to them about putting their brother on a three-way call and taking the policy out on him. Because all that money that they loan him, they're never going to get back. Or the person who thinks that they have their affairs in order very rarely does. because their definition of having their affairs in order is based on their limited understanding of how much a funeral is going to cost and how much financial need their family is going to have after they die, which is why we have to educate them. But none of this happens if we're a bunch of miserable call center reps making phone calls with our lip poked out because nobody volunteered to buy from us today. We are in sales. We're not in customer service. That means our day consists of taking inbound calls and making a bunch of outbound calls and having a lot of people not answer and having the people that do answer sometimes be in a bad mood, sometimes say they're not interested, sometimes say that I took care of it already. We have a conversation with them. We talk through that. We make sales. We're in sales, not customer service, but it's nothing to get increasingly sad about because you're only hurting yourself. When one bad call spills into another, you're only hurting yourself. Does that make sense? It is so easy to sell 2, 3, 4 people a day. It is so easy to sell 2, 3, 4 people a day if you understand every single conversation you have is an opportunity. Oh, that wasn't a good one. They're all good ones. Anytime you get somebody on the phone, yes, they might not be thinking about insurance when you first start talking to them. That's why we're salespeople. Our job is to generate that interest. Right? Anytime you get a voice on the other end of the line, happy days are here again. It's an opportunity. They're probably not going to say, oh, thanks for calling. I'm sitting here waiting to talk to you. Probably not. Probably not going to say that. But any voice on the other end of the line is an opportunity to re-engage them with their initial interest. They are no different than us. We have things, we're scrolling through social media, we get a phone call, we see something on TV, we are interested in that moment. And then the moment passes. If somebody calls us later, you're like, well, I'm in the middle of doing this right now. So I don't even remember what I was thinking about at 2:00 in the morning when I was scrolling through social media and I had an interest in that. But if you can reconnect me to what I was thinking at 2:00 in the morning and make me go, oh yeah, that's why I wanted those electric socks to make my feet warm because my feet were really cold that night. It was a cold snap and I was scrolling through and I remember thinking, boy, it'd be nice if my feet were warm. And then the electric socks commercial came up and I was like, I'm interested in that. Now today it's 80 degrees and I'm not interested in that. But if you can reconnect me to the night I had cold feet, I'm like, oh yeah. And the next time I have cold feet, I want to have those electric socks ready. Thank you for reminding me. That's all that's taking place with your leads. Something made them interested. They saw something on the news. I was in Austin these past couple of days, and just unfortunately, there's that potential terrorist attack. They're investigating it, but what are the odds? What are the odds that I'm in Atlanta? I happen to be in Austin, and then there's this shooting. The place that the shooting occurred, I wasn't there when it happened, but I had been in that area, right? So you think that makes you think twice, like, man, I could have that. I mean, could have been me. So now you think the people in Austin start thinking about, well, I visit there sometimes. I got a family member that lives in that area. I was just there a couple of weeks ago. So then it's going to spike interest in Texas, in insurance, and things related to funerals, and things related to, you see? And then the day after, maybe now they're worried about a bill or worried about something else, but you got to reconnect them to, well, what was I thinking back when that happened? And then once you reconnect them to that emotion, oh yeah, this is what I was thinking at that time. Then either they took care of something, either they bought something or they didn't. Now, if they bought something, Most people, when they buy insurance, they know they're not insurance professionals. They're just doing the best that they can. So every single person that buys something, they all wonder, did they make the right decision? They don't know. Talk to somebody on the phone. They seem pretty nice. They seem kind of knowledgeable. I bought something. I think I'm good. I think. So they're going to be very open to the possibility of a second opinion or a policy review to either pat them on the back and say, good job. What you got was good. But here's some additional things that you need. Or to get help. Hey, that thing that you bought actually is not going to work out good for your family, but I'm glad we caught it. I'm here to fix it. We're approaching this wrong in many cases. A person who bought some insurance, that's a good thing. That's a buyer. So they're going to buy some more from you if you have something to offer, or they're going to get yours instead of what they bought if yours is better. There's nothing to be unhappy about on these phones. So stop sounding so unhappy. Stop sounding like broke call center reps. The minute you think that the sale has slipped away from you, your countenance drops, your voice changes. All right, well, just take down my information. It's all opportunity. The absolute worst thing that could happen to you is the absolute best thing that could happen to you is that you have a client who actually does have every single thing they need, in which case they are somebody who needs to A, buy insurance policies on the other less fortunate people in their life whose funeral they're going to end up paying for when that person dies, or that person becomes a referral source. Hey, you are in really good shape. Give me the names of some people who are not. And also give me the names of some people who are in good shape just like you, because I need to get them covered, because I need to protect their savings account. People that have it together like you, I have a program that protects their savings accounts, because what happens is when you got a savings account and people are coming to you for loans, or God forbid somebody dies and nobody else in the family can take care of it except for you, all of a sudden it's going to deplete your savings account by $10, $15, or $20,000. The older you are and the older they are when death occurs, the bigger of a hit your savings account is going to take. So I have programs that protect savings accounts of people that are in a good situation, because instead of the death of a less responsible family member subtracting from your savings account, it adds to your savings account. Because the program that I put in place, it covers their final affairs, it covers any unpaid loans that that person has amassed with you over the years, and it puts a little extra in your savings account to prepare you for the next family member that needs a loan from you. Everybody hear this? So the person that doesn't need insurance, they need savings account protection. So they need to go through and cover all the people whose funerals they'd have to pay for if these people died unexpectedly. The ones that don't have their affairs in order, which is 99% of the people that you talk to, they need to be reconnected to what they were thinking when they filled out that leave card. They need a thorough needs analysis, and they need us to help close them and not be blocked off by smokescreen objections. There is so much money to be made in this business. But if you're stuck in your own unhappiness, you're looking at this business through a haze. You're looking at this business through a fog. And as you look at that fog, all you see is the reflection of your own miserableness. Clear the fog. Clear the fog. Starting today, you have to change how you think. If this business is bad and your life is bad and the leads are bad and the clients don't buy and they're all broke and the ones that aren't broke, they're going to change their mind. If that's the world you live in, enjoy the next couple of weeks. Because you're not going to make any money. You'll be driving Uber or doing something else. If you can clear that fog and understand that every time you talk to a client, it's an opportunity. It is a positive experience. If you can get to a place that as you look at your business, you understand it is not about just talk time. It's about maximizing engagements. Who knows what that term means? Maximize the engagement. Who knows what that means?
Henry, you're talking about making the most out of every opportunity, no matter what their disposition is, no matter what they're saying. That's maximizing opportunity.
Exactly right. There is something good to be gained. When there's another voice on the end, okay, I'm going to take my shot. Do you know how long I had to dial to get somebody on the phone? So I'm not going to just, well, I got them on the phone. If it's an easy sale, great. I'm going to ask for my SBC. Hopefully they get there. If not, I'll just hang up and try again. No. Maximize. I got a voice on the other end of the line. It doesn't even matter. I don't care if they, it's like if I was cold calling and I got a voice on the other end of the line. It doesn't matter. There's a voice on the end of the line. I got a warm or hot lead, a person who had legitimate interest in insurance, and they have answered the phone. It's showtime. It's show. I'm not interested. I know that's right. So like half the stuff that I'm interested in now, I wasn't interested when I first listened to it. So I totally got that. But let me ask you a question. Now, at some point you were on TV or something about insurance popped in your head. I know you're not interested right this second, but what were you interested in back when you were interested? Help me out. What were you thinking then? Well, I don't know. I'm in sales, baby. I'm not in customer service. Now it's a party. Once you respond, well, I don't even know what I was thinking. I tell you what you probably were thinking about. I've been talking to a lot of folks. Let me tell you what they've been thinking. They've been thinking that God forbid, we want to live forever. I want to live till I'm 1,000 years old. Okay, but we know realistically it doesn't happen. And so people have been thinking about their final day. They've been thinking about watching TV, and there's a GoFundMe account or people passing the hat at church because people are dying without their affairs in order, and they've been thinking they don't want that to be them. They've been thinking about being at a funeral and somebody's like, oh my God, this funeral's a hot mess, or so-and-so didn't pass it. They don't want that. They're thinking about the front row of the funeral, right? Because the front row of that funeral, that's the people that are closest to you, and you were closest to them, and they're visualizing their faces. They're thinking about their wife, their mom, their dad, their kids. They're thinking, you know what? I wish I could take care of all my friends and family, but at least that front row. I got to make sure none of them ends up losing the house, losing the car, not having their affairs in order. So they've been trying to protect that front row. Some people have been thinking too about there's lots of folks in my family, they owe me money. And I don't think I'm ever going to get that money back. And they're wondering, are there any programs that can get them paid for loans from people that love them, that they've given over the years, that they don't think they can get back? And the answer is yes to both of those. I can help you, but I got to ask you a couple of questions first. So let me kind of go through some information with you, and I promise at the end of it, you're going to get some good news about protecting your family or protecting your savings account. Let's get started, and they jump right back into the PEC. Is this making sense? Either you're a consultant or a call center rep. Call center reps make $30,000 a year. Consultants make 100K plus. I'm a consultant. Raise your hand if you're a consultant. Call center reps, go work at Geico or Progressive or something like that. Make 30,000, you'll be real happy. But I'm a consultant, and I'm trying to train consultants. And so consultants don't get broken, discouraged, and sad, and oh, these leads. No, I mean they all say that. They all say that. That's why we get paid so much money. Because we're good at having a positive mindset and understanding it's all in a day's work. It's all part of it. So what? You got to get out of your own heads. You got to have some swag. You got to have some confidence. You got to stop being so emotionally impacted by every experience. Be a consultant. Have some confidence. Have some heart. Have some swag. When there's a conversation, jump into it. Sell them. Get referrals. Right? However you treat your business is how you're going to get treated on that phone. If you're letting yourself get beat up and beat down, your client hears that and you are repelling them. They're like, I get this broke, sad person off my phone. If you are positive and happy, your client can feel that too. Master your craft, everybody, and go to work. I'm going to leave you with this. Tomorrow, if I had a wheel spin and I said, everybody that's got 0, I'm going to put you on the wheel. I'm going to spin the wheel and I'm going to pull all of your recordings and I'm going to play them. And if you're following the system exactly, I'll give you $100. But if you're not following the system exactly, you owe me $100. Who wants to be on that wheel? Nobody. Right? Because we all know that if you do what you're supposed to do, you're not going to be on the 0 wheel. You're going to be on the hero wheel. You already know what to do. You have to do what you know. You got to get out of your own head. You got to stop wasting time. You got to stop being miserable and projecting that onto your business. If your business, if you can't get happy about anything else, be happy about the money that you're making. Because typically, if you can put yourself in a better financial situation, it will at least brighten other areas of your day. Make sense? All right. We don't need another meeting after this meeting. Right now, we need to go and get on these phones with a positive mindset. We need some happiness. We need some excitement. You need to smile while you dial. You need to be calling with pace. You know, dialing one person every 15 minutes, they ain't going to cut it. You need to be in a hurry to your next engagement. And then once you get there, it's not about racking up talk time. It's about, I got a voice on the line. Let me use all my skills and all my powers. Let me maximize the engagement. Let me do everything I can to create a sale with this person I'm talking to. Let me get them to buy some insurance from other people that they know. Let me get some referrals from them. Let me create a positive experience by bringing positive energy to the call. Whatever situation that you are in, you're not going to get out of it instantly. You get out of it call by call, sale by sale, commission by commission. We're going to wrap this call up with a reminder to make excuses. Remember, those count. A lot of you say the more believe, the more you sell. If you are going to take this and put it into use, then I want you to say no excuses. All results count as loud as you can in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No
No
excuses.
excuses,
All the
only
results
results
count.
Oh,
Results.
Amen.
Oh,